Hi guys, what's up? It's Marissa and welcome back to my channel and welcome to October's Cozy Monthly Hobby Wrap-Up. We've hit the end of October and are now in November, and I'm excited to share with you guys the games I've played, the books I've read, and everything else in between. So let's get started. So to start off with, I've started playing Faefarm this month, which if you're not familiar with, it is a magical, cozy farming simulation game that got released a few weeks prior to me actually playing it, but I did pre-order it and I did start playing it in the month of October. I'm yet to complete it, but from what I have played, it has this beautiful environment to it. The graphics are stunning, and I feel like there are a lot of quality of life improvements that have been added to the game. So far, my favorites have been the automatic switching between the tools. So with your axe, your pickaxe, and your scythe, the game will detect what you're selecting and it will choose the appropriate tool to perform the action with. Also, I think one of my favorite quality of life improvements is that you can find NPCs on the map. So what you can do in the game, you can actually go through your map and select the NPC that you want to go find, and then when you return back to your game, it will actually direct you to go and find that character, which is a nice touch. Now, I did take a break from Baldur's Gate 3 because I was feeling a little bit discouraged with the current playthrough that I was doing, and I have ultimately decided to completely restart my game. I want to start fresh. I want to choose a new class, slightly change the companions that I have, and obviously make better choices in the game. So basically, to give you an overview, I stopped playing at the beginning of Act 3. If you haven't played it yet and you want to avoid spoilers for the first two acts, then maybe just skip a little bit ahead. But for those who want to know, I didn't actually end up recruiting Will or Karlach. I know, and I completely missed them, and I did not think to actually look up how to get them because for some reason I thought that it occurred a little bit later on in the game. It did not. It is in the first act, and I completely missed it. And by the time I realized that I had missed them and tried to go back to recruit them, it was way too late. The story had progressed and I just couldn't go back. So therefore, I haven't experienced anything to do with their stories, and you know, it happens, but I'm excited to now go back, recruit everyone correctly, and play through their stories. My Act 2 was a mess, where I didn't end up even lifting the shadow curse. There was one crucial thing that I just completely skipped over and forgot to do, and therefore was not able to lift the curse. I let Isabel get captured, and Shadowheart ended up becoming a Dark Justicia after she destroyed the Night Song. So therefore, my final boss fight in Act 2 was a lot harder because not only did I not have the Night Song, I had to also fight off Isabel as well. Everything was just a lot harder. I did manage to beat the boss, but I would prefer if I did it in the more correct way. I was going to restart it anyway, and I figured why not just do it now, considering that I have a bit more time and I was feeling discouraged to even just finish my current playthrough. So I just wanted to go back and just do a complete restart, and I feel like I'm going to be able to get through Act 1 and 2 a little bit faster because now I am aware of certain things that I do have to do. Now, one of my most anticipated game releases of this year was Spiderman 2, which I started and finished in the month of October. This game was everything I hoped it to be. It was so much fun. It was absolute blast. I reckon there was not a dull moment for me. I was hearing complaints saying that the game was short, and honestly, I clocked it about 28 hours. I think that's a perfect amount of time for me, especially coming off larger games. Sometimes you just don't really want to be spending hours and hours and hours on one single game. So I was actually really happy that Spider-Man 2 was a bit on the shorter side, but it just meant that each thing that you were doing in the game was quality, and the entire story just flowed quite nicely. The MJ missions were also surprisingly a lot better and well thought out. So instead of just immediately getting caught the second you got seen, you actually were given a little bit of time to either rush after the person that was trying to capture you and to do something about it. I really love the journeys that all the characters had gone through. I think the pacing was actually done quite well. There were a lot of moments where it was very tough encounters, and even the opening sequence I think was absolutely amazing. It was so much fun, and it really got you into the mindset of playing as both Peter and Miles. The combat is a lot of fun, bringing some new mechanics into play and a lot of different suit changes. It's fun switching between Peter and Miles, and you definitely have different skill sets with them, and you have different mechanics for each of the characters. And I also love how they kind of like developed on top of what they originally had in the previous Spider-Man game and Spider-Man Miles Morales. This was definitely a close 10 out of 10 game for me. I think I gave it a 9.8 just because I did encounter a few little bugs, nothing like too concerning, but I did have to restart a checkpoint and I just had to restart the fight encounter. Now, in terms of books, I was able to finish off Percy Jackson and the Chalice of the Gods. I will leave a picture of it here because my physical copy is currently at my boyfriend's house. But it was a fun, quick read that followed the adventures of Percy, Annabeth, and Grover. If you're a fan of Percy Jackson and the Olympians series, the original one that came out years and years ago, it's a nice continuation of the story following the original trio. You follow the story of Percy trying to gain a letter of recommendation from a god or goddess so he can attend university with Annabeth. This book has some really cute moments between Percy and Annabeth, and it's so nice to see their relationship continue to evolve. So I highly recommend this one. I think it's a book you can definitely knock out within a few days, and I can't wait for the rest of the series to release. Now, I did finish the Heartstopper graphic novels. I finished the 4th one in October and I absolutely loved it. Volume 4 definitely covers some darker themes. I recommend just checking the trigger warnings that are apparent, but I really did thoroughly enjoy this, and I already pre-ordered the 5th graphic novel, which I believe the author has said is the final volume in the Nick and Charlie experience. And if you're someone who doesn't really read graphic novels, I highly recommend just checking it out, especially the Heartstopper series. If you're a fan of YA and some romance, I think it's just a really cute, wholesome series that I think anyone can just jump on board. Now, I started and finished Icebreaker in the month of October, and I absolutely loved it. I think it wasn't a book that I thought I was going to love as much as I did. I do have a mini book review on my Instagram, so if you do want to check it out, it is there at Cosy Marissa. But overall, Icebreaker is a dual point of view following Anastasia Allen, who is a figure skater, and Nate Hawkins, who is the captain of an ice hockey team. This book is a enemies to lovers situation, but I think the way that they do it is more about the teasing at the start. It's not like they full on hate each other. I think it was done really, really well. If you're a fan of those like college drama movies, that kind of situation, I think you'd really enjoy this. There is a decent amount of spice in this book, but I think it is quite a fun read. I also picked up Hannah Grace's newest book, Wildfire, which it's not a direct sequel to Icebreaker, but it does follow 2 characters from the Icebreaker universe, and it just follows their journey as they become camp counselors at a summer camp. Wildfire isn't as spicy as Icebreaker, however, it is still a very pleasant read, and it is really fun. And that wraps up the month of October. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do want to see more videos like this, then hit the like button and hit that subscribe button. I'm keen to make some more gaming and book related videos. I've got a few other videos lined up that are in the process of being edited. So if you do want to see those, I'd really appreciate you guys following along on my little content creation journey, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.